Alright, hello everyone. It's a bit early, but only by like a minute or two. I am going to go ahead and start. There we are. Okay, so let me turn the volume down a little more. Yeah, okay, so a couple updates. If you can see below, I'm trying to make the feed. When I get hand tracking, it's all over. I'm gonna be unstoppable. But at the bottom, we have a Twitch follower count. I put it at 50. I'm not worried about like the time limit or anything. I just think it'll be a fun thing to keep track of as the streams go on. So I have it in the modeling software too, but I'm gonna probably disable that. And we can just keep it at the beginning here as a quick little, hey, this is how many people we have in the crypt. So far, we have a wonderful 7 followers. I love you all. But the big goal will be the 50. But frankly, I mean, 10 would be a huge goal for me. Also, I don't know why, but my VTuber has been looking very angry lately. Like, that's my default face right now. Just like sad and angry. And I'm not sure why. I didn't really change any settings, but when I logged into the software for this, all my settings were gone. So I had to redo everything. So maybe some stuff got updated or moved around or whatever. But yeah, we'll go over what we're going to be doing today, which is making a fan ship in Star Trek, or from Star Trek in Blender. I've been rewatching a lot of DS9 lately, because I'm just a nerd for classic Trek. Not a huge fan of the newer stuff personally, but if you are, of course, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not like, oh, you don't like this series of, Star Trek? Well, you're not a fan or whatever. That's stupid. If you can like anything from TOS to Discovery to the animated shows that have been on over the years, you're completely valid in it, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise. But yeah. We're going to hopefully make the stream last for around 3 hours. I have to check on some messages and make sure that life stuff is going okay. So nothing bad, nothing critical. Just, if I have to cut short, it's just because, something came up and I had to go. But we're hoping for around 3 hours, maybe 4. But I don't know how long the ship will actually take, which is the interesting part. As I'm sure you're aware, I've made a few ships from different sci-fi series, but Star Trek is a kind of a newer one, at least content-wise. I'm normally doing some Star Wars stuff. We've done the blasters and the lightsabers, and I think maybe a ship. I can't remember off the top of my head. I know personally I've done Star Trek ships and Star Wars ships. I've done a lot on my personal time. But on stream, I think we've only done the blasters and the lightsaber. But yeah, I wanted to base this model off of the Sovereign class, and hold on one sec, let me make sure this is all coming through. Okay, looking good on my end. Stream, are you going to be picking this up properly? Yes or no? Of course, I'm like an hour behind. We'll just keep going and assume that this is all coming through. I wanted to base it kind of off of the Sovereign class along with the TOS and earlier TNG style of ship. So I want the saucer to be kind of blocky. This is on my phone, so excuse the writing. I don't have a lot of space. But yeah, I wanted to also go with a quad nacelle. I know that has some like fans and detractors, but I've always kind of liked the quad nacelle idea. Just because to me it seems like that would make sense to have a redundancy on your ship, you know? You need 2 nacelles usually to make a stable warp field, and I figure, hey, if you get 2 more, then you have 2 chances, like you can lose 2 nacelles and still be going. That just makes sense to me. So I want to do something. I'm trying to explain the sketch before we get too far into it. I want the 2 other nacelles to be kind of tucked in, kind of below. And then the main nacelles to look like this. So we would have essentially this profile almost. But the lower nacelles would be probably about here to here. They'd be smaller and more tucked in. We're gonna have to see how that looks. It might look good, it might look bad. But yeah, I wanted to return to kind of the TOS language with the saucer section at least. Also, I'm gonna go for a wide saucer, not like a pointed one like the Sovereign. That would be the only difference. So like in the Sovereign, you see like a little kind of point going here. It's basically this, or I keep wanting to say nacelle. It would basically be this saucer, but this point over here, just rotated it at a 90 degree. So yeah, we're gonna start with the body, just because I think that's gonna be the easiest. We'll get like a general length and general shape going. Should we do, let's do, you know what, I'm gonna actually use this. We're going to keep it about there. Gonna be a bit weird today. Bring that, whoop, don't want to go back that far. Bring that here. Oh, you know what, actually, we should probably, before any of that, even though eventually we're going to round this out more, I'm wanting to kind of curve in to the arrow. Hence the name Arrow Class. I wanted to play into the motif of it being arrow-shaped, but also being like a smaller, almost Miranda class size, if you know what that is. The Wrath of Khan ship. Kind of like escort class size is what I'm thinking, but with like Sovereign inspiration. We're gonna see if that pans out well, or if we need to change a couple of things. Let's balloon that out a little more. Now how should we do? I might actually take a note here, how this kind of tucks in. It's not gonna be as smooth, but having it kind of bend a little would probably be good. So we'll do this right here on the lower section. We'll do this right here, just kind of go like that. And then need to expand this a bit more. Just gonna bring this in. We'll smooth it out later. Right now we're just getting the general blocks in there. Now that body shape is there, let's bring in a cylinder. I'm gonna actually increase the vertices by a lot because I don't want to deal with too much blockiness. And then once we get all this blocked in properly, let's make sure this is on the same X wall. Once we get it all blocked out properly, we can just do a flip in general. That's gonna be, yeah, we want the Z. Okay. Then we can just do a flip once we're done there. I want it to be, so I like the idea of the body kind of covering the saucer, if that makes any sense, kind of like holding it. So we're gonna try and recreate that. Also, let me get rid of follower goals. Like I said, I want that to just be at the beginning. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So we'll do, let's go ahead and do this. I'm actually gonna want to shrink this bit more. Yeah, there we go. I want to create kind of like, the sketch is kind of rough, but this like mid section right here, I want this to be more solid, you know? And then have here, we'll quickly just kind of line that up. Then we'll balloon it out to about there. Again, similar to some TNG and TOS language is what we're going for. So I'm gonna do my best to get that going. I think the saucer is looking good. Whoops. Okay. And now we're going to rotate the Z, or no, the Y at 90. Whoops. I said it's a Z. Getting rid of the rotation of the Y there. Okay. That needs to be rotated a lot more. You know what? I'm just gonna. There we go. And that's not really how I want it. Let's do it a bit more. Let's go all the way around. There we go. And then we can get rid of, or not get rid of, but we can bring this down a bit more. I'm not gonna lie, we might be redoing the body. It's looking kind of rough. But we'll work with it for right now. Just gotta trust the process, right? Bring that in. I just think we need to make it a bit more blocky here. I think that's gonna be the big issue. Oops, my tools. There we go. Let's actually add a bit of a curve here. I think that'll look nice. I know I literally just said, let's make it more blocky, but in this one case, just in the front, give it more of a, almost like an aerodynamic feel. I think that's reading okay. It's not exactly how I want it, but you know. Let's try raising this up a bit. Alright. Yeah, not loving it so far, but it could definitely be worse. I have made worse. Let's, we'll make the nacelles and everything a separate piece. Excuse me. do that, select by loop. And make the bridge like this. Then we'll boost it up a little here, then do an extrude. Then we'll just make like a little dome. Alright, how is that looking? Get this out of here. Okay, I'm liking the top view. That's definitely how I was envisioning this going. The side view is alright, but I think we can do a bit better. So we'll get into that in a bit. What if we do this right here? Then we grab gonna need to hide the references soon. If we just boost that up a little. Trying to make this section a bit more flat here. Honestly, the body is starting to look kind of like a little boomerang phaser. Let's take these vertices, get these up here. I'm worried about clipping that's going to start happening here. Let's take maybe here and here. Oh, interesting thought. What if we give it like almost little wings back here? One of those like silly details. Kind of like how the Delta Flyer has it, or how a Defiant class has it. Although this wouldn't actually do anything. It would just be for aesthetic, but still. Yeah, let me hide references so we can get a better view. Okay, now the real question is that line? I don't think it is. Is it reading as a face? I can't tell. That one definitely isn't. Okay. Let's do... It's a bad sign that we're doing this so early, but let's get rid of the face here. Then generate a new one. Yeah, that's still not great. What if we... New edge? What if we did that? Then create... There we go. That's creating a lot more of a reasonable... Nope, didn't mean to do that. There we go. That's looking a lot better. Honestly, I don't know what this vertex is doing. First off, let's focus and get rid of this. Do it on the other side. Yeah, okay. What about, I guess, these two vertices? Where's the second one? That seems off, doesn't it? I guess they're in the right spot. It just seems like this section is really crowded for the amount of cuts that we've done. Let me raise it up here. Okay, it's kind of weird. I like it more down here. And I am liking this almost Cardassian little logo that we got going on here. Like that shape. But we gotta smooth it out. There are a lot of random vertices going everywhere. Let me... First, we'll just raise this up a bit more. Make it look more like a shuttle bay back here. Yeah, see, there's just a lot going on already. Let's see. Maybe if we take this and then go back here, that would definitely give it the silhouette of how a shuttle bay normally looks, so we might do that. See, that looks like it's going all over the place. What if we line it up and then really extend those wings? It's looking a bit better. Let's line this up a bit more. Actually, hold on. We'll just zoom in. There we go. That's looking nicer. Now, do that right there. Well, you know what, let's bring these up and we'll I'm gonna actually do that new trick that we learned just now. I'm going to delete the faces and then create new edges here and here. Then make new faces based off of that. There we go, we're starting to get this cleaned up now. Then we can actually take these two, or well, these few, and line them up a bit more. I'm basically trying to create a flat face here, and then make like a clear, distinct section for where the shuttle bay would be. That's the goal right now. Let's take, let's do another loop cut here, maybe. How would that look? Okay, it is only interfering here, which is where we want it, so that's fine. Up to here, creating like another flat spot here. And then we can line this up a little more effectively. And now we're getting this issue here. Oh, that's weird. I guess I just missed that one. Yeah, it's over here too. Let's just get rid of those two vertices. Let's see where we go. We'll do this right here. Okay, so do a new connection here. Then a new face. There we go. New connection first, and then new face. New face there. Are we still getting an error? No. Okay, it's just the way that we have it right now, so that's fine. We'll just have to do a bit more cleanup, but that's okay. Create some more faces. Seal that model in. Okay, how's that looking? Better for sure. Better for sure, in my opinion. Let's take... I think this is actually... No, I guess not. Okay. That's fine. We can create another one here and then just bring that down. I'm gonna give the illusion of like shuttle bay doors. Why is this happening? Okay, so it's not, it is just one point there, which is weird. Oops, I didn't mean to do this shader. We don't even have a texture on here yet. Let's just go back and we'll do a loop cut here instead. Although that might not look right either. We might need to get creative. Maybe. Let's do this. Get rid of the edge there. Then with these three, new face. And create almost a rectangle. No, we're gonna get an error here. It's not great. You know what, I guess we could, okay, let's go back. Let's go back. Because I think we're on the right track here. If we... Okay, so if we, let's bring that down. So the common problem on both sides is this vertex here. So we'll create two new edges. At this point, I might just be going around in circles, but still. I need to work this out. Yeah, okay, alright, I see. I'm still going to do this because I think it'll overall look cleaner, but this will not fix the problem we're having. Let's do this right here. How bad is that gonna look? Actually, that pretty much gives us exactly what we need. I might get rid of the wings. The wings are cheesy and fun, but at the same time, I think we gotta keep the inspiration from the Sovereign. So we might want to get rid of their wings. buff this out a little. Oh, that's interesting. You know what? We need to get rid of this edge anyway. That's creating more problems. You know what? Get rid of both of those vertices. There we go, that's looking a lot better. Yeah, so let's see. We follow this down. We got these two right here. Okay. Done. They're right there. Let's bring these two in just a little. Okay, so we need, I mean, both of these vertices need to be raised up a little. Oh, then, look at that. That's weird. What did I do to this model? I've already kind of butchered this model, haven't I? Oh well. Inside there. Do that. Yeah, what is going on over here? Okay, maybe if we... Let's do this. We'll get rid of all of the vertices we can. Let's do... How broken is that gonna look? Okay, alright. That's manageable. I can fix that. Bring this over here. Okay, that's looking good. Let's take this. Not bring this back here. Oh boy. Which vertice did we take? Did we take this one? No. We didn't take that one either. What? We did take that one. Wait, what? You know what? I'm going Scorched Earth on this model. I'm taking away way too much, but it'll be fine, I'm sure. And if it's not, oh well. God. Okay, let's line this all up here. Bear with me, I promise it'll work out. I say with my fingers crossed behind my back like a supervillain. God, where does that even go? Like, why does that do that? I mean, we can make a triangle there, but I don't know why. Let's do it. We'll do triangle there. Wait, is that different? Why do we have another... Look at that. We have like another thing going on here. Another vertice. Let's get rid of that. And we're just going to get rid of this. There we go. Okay, that's looking a lot more smooth. Then we can do that, and then add another triangle here. Another triangle there. See? I told you, chat, we'd get there. You know what? Let's do. Actually, gonna add another vertex here and here to help buff this out a little more. You know what? Bring this. I'm gonna create like a more distinct line over here. Is there a way? I wonder if there's a way to just add another vertex. Guess not, but that would be helpful. Could do like a loop cut here and then just get rid of all the other vertices and flatten it out a bit more. But that's a last resort kind of thing. Let's instead do this here. Bring that forward. We'll just kind of eyeball where good placement should be. Because I don't know a better way to do it. That is for future me to find out. Oh, I didn't check. Does that bother the rest of the model? It doesn't. Okay, good. Alright, this is getting a lot more detail, you know what I mean? This is getting a lot cleaner. It's getting a lot closer to what I want, so. You know what, let's do, yeah, no, this had a rectangle, so we'll match that. We'll create a triangle here. All right. One piece of, what do you call it? I guess one distinction I should add is a deflector dish at the bottom here. So let's do that. Actually, having it swoop down like this might look good. And I know we're getting a lot of glitches, but we will fix them. You know what, let's see. Okay, let's do, gonna need a loop cut here, probably. Giving it like a jaw, but you know. I feel like I'm designing a robot more and more. Let's bring these back here. There we go, that's starting to look a lot more solid. No, we'll only be able to take these 2 points, move them over. Yeah, okay, that's not bad. That's working out. Do that right there. It just looks like a robot's head. this whole thing. Oh boy. It's definitely not looking like how I was expecting it to look, but it's not bad, if that makes sense. Let's do maybe elongating it. We'll give it that arrow distinction again. Oh, what's happening there? No, it's still kind of like bumped up here. I don't know why. Oh, that's weird. That's not great. We don't want that. What does that look like? Okay. Now that we got rid of the face, so we'll just make some new ones. Do that right there. Okay, alright, that's not bad. Let's try raising all of this. This is a bit too low. Okay, I don't know how this like edge happened, but I'm kind of liking it actually. You know what, I'm actually going to bring that out a bit more. I'm gonna play into that a little. Maybe if we... There we go. All right. I wish I hadn't forgotten about the deflector dish. I'm kind of having to wing it here, but you know, I think that's part of the fun. Let's do that, shrink that down. Usually how I make a deflector dish will just be like that, and then shrink it down, and shrink it down. And there you go, you got like a passable effect of a deflector dish. Let's bring this and that one. Is that where that connects? Where? That's okay. 1, 1, 2, 2. This is all messed up actually, huh? Oops. We got this. What's happening at the bottom here? Okay, so it's not creating a proper face. All right. Does that go here? No, it's this point, I think. Oh wait, we have an extra, I see. So this needs to go down. Not there. That's still not looking right. Unrelated, but this needs to go forward a bit more. You know what? Bring both of these forward a bit more. Done. This right here. Like a straight up and down. Let's just organize and then we'll look at it again. It might just be a weird clipping thing, but I don't know. That looks wrong to me. Okay, I think that got it. I don't know what exactly we fixed, but we did fix it, so. Let's actually, with the deflector dish, we'll do one more thing. Let me create a loop. Put one up here. We're gonna have to make our own kind of thing going on. And then we will extrude here, create more of an edge going out. I'm just gonna bring these down to oh, you know what we probably just need? There we go. I imagine that this kind of ship would not have like a super powerful one, just like a very basic deflector, but still. It's the basic Starfleet language, so gotta add one. That's not great. None of this is. What's going on here? Oh, when I extended that edge, that must have happened. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Bump it out over here. There we go. It's starting to look more like a shipbreaker or a excuse me, not a shipbreaker, a like ice block runner, whatever you call them. The kind of ships that just run through ice, whatever those are. You know what, I'm gonna do something funky. As if this whole thing has not been just a little funky. I'm going to add one more edge loop here. Doesn't bug out super hard. I don't know. I need the one that's in here. Thank you. Okay. Dude, that doesn't look great. But having... No, I'm not excusing it. I'm gonna fix it. As much as I don't want to, I'm still going to fix it. There is a little bump there. Second row or column. Let's get... This is a straight up and down. Do these two here. It's looking a bit better. I'll clean it up in a second here. But for right now, I want to move on to that idea where it was. So all Starfleet ships have little impulse engines that you use outside of warp travel. What I am wanting is to create two of them on the body here in a weird way. Because I liked that wing motif that we had going on. We'll reintroduce that form of nacelles. Just bring these up here. Is it a weird idea? Is it kind of going off model for what a Starfleet ship is? Yes to all above, but I'm wanting to do it anyway, so. So like a little divot here, and then I'm gonna put a grill effect over it, going up, so like that. Let's see. Make this a bit more rounded if we can. There we go. That's not looking bad. I'll bring this up a little more. And we're going to stop messing with the body for now. And instead get to work on... Let's just do like a nacelle. Let me bring that back. I'm actually going to almost completely trace the nacelle for the Sovereign. Just because I feel like we're losing some of that language. I picture this kind of ship being a thing where it was like being built when the not warp barrier, there was like a warp limit that was being considered in one episode of TNG because it was essentially destroying subspace, which is why you get more of these like angular designs later on. Because they're supposed to be, it's essentially like a ham-fisted thing for climate change, which like, you know, it's one of those things that it's a very, SF Debris actually did a very good job explaining how I feel about about Star Trek messaging or message episodes where it's like, they say what you agree with, but they do it so ham-fistedly and so obnoxiously to where it's just like, okay, we get it. Like, please. Like, I'm agreeing with you and I'm telling you to stop. It's usually how it goes for Star Trek, but I did actually think that it was good. I just think that sometimes they can be a little overzealous with it, if that makes sense. I could just be babbling. I'm good at that. We'll do one right here, has a little bit of a divot, so we will make a little divot too. I'm just going to do an extrusion, because of course I am. For the nacelle here, let's go back and make sure that we get the back side of this done. You know what? Back that out. We're gonna make one more. This will be a lot more blocky than the Sovereign, but still, it'll give that message. Alright, let's make sure that that's getting where it needs to. There we go. Let's do select by loop. Make that grab easier. Ooh, what's going on over here? It is not liking that face. Okay. Let's do this maybe? That'll make it happy. Yeah, and it's still maintaining the average, like, look that we're going for, so that, what happened here? Oh my god, Blender, work with me. Also, sorry about the mouse. Just fixed it now. It happened back here too. Okay, how does that look? Is it a cell? Let's maybe do that right there. And then we'll do an extrusion along these faces. Oops. No, we don't want that. Yeah, we might have to create something new for that. Yeah, that'll work. I think that's looking good. Just gonna have to make a separate model for the actual like blue nacelle part. So I was thinking like one up here, and then a smaller one, and it's tucked in. You know what? Let's do actually like a 180 there. Tuck it in like that. I can hide this again. I don't know, is that making sense? What I'm trying to come up with here? Hopefully that's coming through. This like messaging that I'm sending out. Let's do that as some like extra hole plating. Nope, that is way too far. Oh, we're not zeroed. Whoops. Let's do... There we go. Copy that, and these like this. There we go. It's getting the like general vibe that I was wanting to send out. Maybe shrink this down a little bit more. Let's bring these up to the back a little more. And I'm actually going to take these here. Yes, okay. I'm not liking this face issue here. I just don't know a good way to fix that, really. I think that looks okay. We'll go with that. Yeah, okay. Let's do, now that we have like the generic, or not generic, the general silhouette going on, let's go for the struts. Let's get those going. Oh, come on. There we go. Put that there. We'll just worry about connecting them for right now. But we'll stylize them in a second here. You know what, we'll bring it down there. Then what if we, okay, let's try bending it this way a little. Just make 3 there and see how that looks. Yeah, so first we're definitely needing to beef that up a little, because that structural integrity field, or no, that is wimpy for the nacelle size that we got going on. And the body looking like just a rock you found on the ground. No. We need to do a bit more. How's that looking so far? Yeah, better. We're getting there. Okay, if it's gonna be weird like that, fine. I'll be weirder. Gotta out-weird Blender. You know what? Interesting idea. Having it at an angle like that. What is that? The 45? 45 will be more accurate. We'll do that. You know what? I like that. We're gonna have it at an angle at all these nacelles. Oh boy. Would it be 180 minus 45? Is that what we would do? Don't judge me. I'm pulling up a calculator. I want to make sure it's right. 45, 135. Okay, let's try that. I mean, looks right to me. For whatever it's worth. Let's do a Control M for mirror, and then on the Z axis, we'll also shrink that down. Okay, I see. Okay, so a bit more of an angle to connect these two. A bit more of an angle and smaller connection. That works for me. Let's do... just that right there. Kind of a bricky class of ship, but it works. Almost feels like it's like a rejected Defiant. Let's do a bit more angle there. I think this needs to be more like that. Although now I've messed up all of the well, actually, it still fits pretty well. Let me just let's mess around with it. Let's see. Because that's not looking bad, actually. The deflector is still pretty visible, you know? Yeah, you know what? I'll go with it. I'll go with it. That needs to be lowered now. But overall, that actually doesn't look too bad. Yeah, it turned from a curve into more like a wave right here, but that actually didn't look awful. It's funny, a lot of this is not going the way that I planned, but like, it's still... Why am I doing that? It's still turning out not bad at all. Let's copy that X. Put it over here. Copy. Mirror along the X. Nope. Over here. Thank you. Oh, you know what? Just for fun. Have any of you seen a ship like this? The 3 nacelles? That's also one that I've always kind of liked. I've had a soft spot for. It's something that goes against like the general rules of what a Starfleet ship should have. But I mean, yeah, the more that I'm looking at it, the more I'm liking it. Because it follows the idea of having like a backup nacelle, which is what I've always liked about like 3 or more. I guess 3 or 4. I've never seen like a 5 or 6 nacelle ship, but having just like a backup nacelle makes a ton of sense to me, and I don't know why it's not done more frequently. So I'm actually going to split it down the middle. We'll keep a 3rd nacelle as opposed to having 4, but yeah, I like that. I like that idea. Okay, so now, ooh, this could look really good. This could either look really good or really bad. What if we did, follow me on this, this right here, rotate more, better like a, oops. Keep just rotating 90 until it's happy. What's happening? Or not. Or we won't do that and it'll be upset. Is it because it's at an angle? I think it's because okay, alright. In that case, let's not do it through extruding. It'll take too long. Basically, like how the Miranda class has it, in order to handle its torpedoes, and I think actually its deflector is up there too, but it has like a little strut in between the struts for the nacelles. I think if we have one here, that could look good for our torpedoes. You know, so we can have like the saucer can have the main phaser banks, and then over here where we can add the actual torpedo bay. Do like that right there. I don't know what happened. I don't know why it has like this weird angle. Oh, because we had to hide the, that's right, yep. Let's do... Is it still hidden? Yeah. Oh, but I don't like that collision. Yeah, you know what? Let's just bring the whole model back a little. Let's do... It's really not gonna fit smoothly in any spot I put it at. I think that's the closest we can get it. Let's do... We'll do that, and then we'll bring these over here more, and then these vertices over here, and then the whole model will shrink down. There we go. So we can have like a nice little base spot here. There we go. We can do the same over here. So we can have some rear and fore torpedo launchers. There we go. That's like in Starfleet E. We're basically throwing a lot at the wall to see what sticks here with the design, but I am liking it. I am thinking it is a neat look. You don't really see ships like this too often in the shows. Bring it down a little bit more. This is more that kind of ship that you would see in like the background, like my beloved Jaeger class that is just a mess of a ship. I love the Jaeger class so much, but it's such a mess. It is just a kit bash of an Intrepid class and a Maquis Raider model, because they needed more for the background in Deep Space Nine, and it's just it's such a mess, and I love it, and I want it. Like, none of it visually goes together well, but it's like everybody who made it was just like, yeah, it's in the background, who cares? But you know what? I care. I love that ship. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful mess. And I need it in more media, so I can point out to my friends, hey, that's the Jaeger class, and they can be like, whatever. I don't care. I can info dump about useless Star Trek knowledge that I've accumulated over my whole life. This is starting to look more like a shuttle bay, which I'm not loving. But overall, this is a pretty good, like, almost escort class-esque ship. Yeah, I'm liking it. I'm liking it. It's just that we need to update certain parts. We need to finish fleshing it out. Let's work on the saucer. We haven't really done much with that yet. You know what? No, that's just me trying to run away from extra work. Basically, this needs to be further back. I want it to be like at the tip of the arrow here. That's actually pretty center, but that works. And then next I'm going to make, they'll sometimes have like little, like landing lights almost. I'm going to put that on there. There we go. Just a little detail here. It's the kind of thing that only I would really notice or care about, but still. While we're here, let's maybe this, and then... no, that's still too... We need to make a spot for the title of the ship and everything. The good old NCC, whatever, whatever. There we go. But that's not it, and it's not even. I know I'm missing like a number. Let's do... Is that middle? Where's middle? Probably around there. Added 4. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maybe 1. No, wait, because we have to... I don't know. That'll be fine. We'll do 4. Then 4. What is that? 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Okay. And we'll lower that and make that where the honorifics and everything goes. Have that little indent. Alright. That looks good. Now let's make like some phaser banks and all of the extra details after I fix whatever's going on here. I guess it's Or like that. I don't know. I don't know. But you know what? What if we... no. No. I'm thinking this is looking fine for a silhouette. Let's do... the phaser banks, no. This will actually give us a good indicator of the size of the ship too, so I want them to be kinda big. Because we are talking about a very, not very small, I guess, but pretty small. Pretty small ship. Think Defiant, Miranda, you know, those kind of classes of ship. Then I'm just going to do this. Yeah, okay, I was worried about that. Let's do my favorite thing and ignore it and pretend that we don't have a problem. Nope, that doesn't work. What if we started on the inside? Is that something we can ignore a bit better? Yeah, that's rough. Okay. How do you want to solve this problem, chat? Let's think here. Let's try the outside again. What does it look like? That's right, there's a big spot here. Okay, you know what? It is cheating, but I don't care. It's a fantastic point that it's cheating and all, but I simply do not care. And like the general look is this, you know, people are looking like that, so I mean, it's fine. I'm just gonna give it a spin. There we go. We should probably do it at the bottom of the saucer too. Okay, I see. Z is 3. Right, okay. Oh, because we're not on the... Man. There we go. So then this should be right. Come on. Why are you doing this to me? It was supposed to be easy. Oh well. Alright, there we go. Alright. Saucer has some good detail on it now. Alright, now let's focus on getting this looking more like it holds torpedoes. I'm going to bring in... You know what, do I want a cube or do I want a cylinder? Probably a cylinder, right? Do like that, and then do this, that. Looks kind of weird, but not bad. Let's take space, shrink that down. There we go. Okay. And then we'll do... Is it along the X? It is. Put 2 up here. Then we'll add 2 in the back. Alright, and then... Alright, the impulse engines here. I think if I do that, it's going to start messing up the overall model. Because I still need to add like vents to it. Let's just do... I think this is kind of bad habit, but we'll do it anyway. Zoom in there. There we go. We're just gonna make like a billion of these. Again, like I said, bad habit. It's not normally what you're supposed to do, but I just kind of don't care is the thing. So we're gonna do it anyway. Although I guess we can join all of these, but that's probably a really bad idea, so do that. Yeah, we don't want that. We want... There we go. We're just gonna line it up. Yeah, that looks good. Let's do... Okay, you know what? We'll flip this upside down. We'll use this nacelle as our base. Then we will take that face there. We'll shrink that down a little. Okay, so this other side, we need to bring up more. Hey, we're getting there. It's not looking bad. Let's do this here. Did that not take the other? It did. Why is this kind of off-center? Oh, this whole nacelle is kind of off-center. Okay. Interesting. Don't know why I did that. Huh. That is the location. Oh, I see. It's just because it's bent. Alright, you know what? I'm just gonna make a new nacelle. Or a new strut. It'll be easier to do, and it'll look better. Oh, it's doing that again. Alright. Bring it out a little more. Do to about there. Yeah, that's not looking bad. How are we wanting to do this? Let's maybe bump it up actually. It might look nice. Alright, how's that looking so far? Alright, let's go back in here. I'm gonna have to edit the nacelles just a little bit. Why does that look wrong? You know what? Instead of redoing that, we're gonna do this whole, hold on. I promise it makes sense in my brain. This is not gonna work. No, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna look right. Oh boy, okay. These poor nacelles, they're never gonna look right. So if we shrink it more, we could do about there, but then that's like tiny. Like there's not much there. It might work, hold on. Yeah, that just, it doesn't seem like enough. I mean, because if we, okay, if we do like this right here. Yeah, that'll be fine. That'll give it a little more room. Yeah, okay, that's looking fine. And also looking like those new, like the new designs, quote unquote, the, you know, energy saving, or not energy saving, okay, yeah, we did make 2 of those. You know what, let me get rid of all of them. Yeah. The, like, warp safe, I guess, is what was going on. I guess I can just do a 180 here. Whatever the thing was in that episode, I forget. Let's do 45. I guess we just copy location X, Y, and Z here. Then go from there. Of course, it's going to put it inside the nacelle, but still. Do it like that, and then like this. Okay. Gonna have to redo the nacelle anyway. Let's see. You know what, actually? If we shrink this down to about there, might not actually look bad. Then we just go through the Y. Nope, didn't want to do that. Oh boy, work with me. Both Blender and my brain. I think that might be where we have to call it with this design. You know what? Let me try this right here. I'm gonna bring this out here, set it to nothing again. Same with this one here. Well, we'll do a 180 on it. Error will evaluate. There we go. We'll just remake it here. And then we'll copy the X on this. Make sure that it lands pretty smoothly where it needs to be. I think I might have messed that one up. Let's just bring another copy. Do a rotation there. All right, and then just kind of. There we go. That's fitting in a lot better. Actually, let's, no, I want to join them, but let's not. Y45. that does work, okay. So now we'll copy the X. Okay. Copy the X here and there. Ooh, why did that happen? That's not great. Let's try... Huh. I guess it'll have a slightly different X. That's fine. Just hide that. Kind of thin for a nacelle, but it's not horrible. To mirror X. Control mirror X. Bring that over. There we go. There we go. Now let's bring one of those phaser banks over here. We'll put that on top of shuttle bay. So we got 6 forward, 1 aft, which kind of works for an escort. Actually, I forget like the general amount that like an escort is supposed to have, but I think that looks good. Let's see, what else do I want to add? I think that might be about all. It looks like it might storm, actually. I might call it here. We will see. Be a very short stream, but is it raining outside? It might be already raining. Yeah, it's definitely starting to storm. Okay, great. I'm hoping that my internet holds out. We had issues with it before, but I think let's do a zoom in here. Let's get a good like 360 here. It's a bit of a basic ship, honestly, but I do like that. I wasn't going for anything extravagant with it. I am kind of surprised I went with the 3 nacelles as opposed to 4. It's just that normally I prefer 2 or 4. I don't really like the 3s usually, but I mean this kind of came together, you know? So I'm gonna call it with this, I think. Even though I want to stay on a bit longer. I just don't... Oh, well, You know what, I'm gonna make it very clear that the recording at least can cut here for the time-lapse video that I'm gonna make. So there was another model that I wanted to try to make, and I do have it set up and ready to go, but I don't know if it'll hold out the internet. I mean, I'm looking outside, sorry, it's one of those things that it looks like it's going to get worse. So, let me, you know what, we'll start it. If something happens, something happens, but I'm only going to be able to stay on longer for like another hour anyway, so let me change this, making a background. You know what, actually I need to change that immediately, hold on. My VTuber background. There we go, okay. Give me 1 sec. We'll get rid of the arrow class that we got going on. Okay, so The thing that I've been wanting to make, the title has changed now, so I'm sure you already know where this is going. Let me change it here to where? Hello? Uh-oh. There it is, okay. Make my backgrounds in Blender. Let's do, it's not gonna fit well at all. We'll do, there we go, sure. I've been wanting to make my own actual background for just like talking streams if I ever get into those. And I have a basic look at what I want to do. This is one of Iron Mouse's backgrounds, and I'm going to be using as just like a general guide. She has a lot of stuff going on with the walls, and that's where I'm not sure. I have like a general idea, like having my little tomb or sarcophagus in the background, and having like a desktop set up, but then like some posters, but I don't know how that's gonna look or like what they would be of, you know. Let's try, we'll just do, like, how is that angle looking? Just use that as a guide really quick. That's about right. But really, we should probably make it a bit more of an angle. And just like that, the rain has stopped, so I don't know what's going on outside. But I never do, so I'm a VTuber. Do a 90. Try and match these up. That's pretty good. I'm gonna have like a stage like this. Let me actually erase these. Don't want to be able to see the top. And I'm gonna cheat a little here. Oh wait, does that actually? No, okay, the side is what we should use as the floor. I've never really made a room in Blender, so I'm curious how this will go. Be like here, maybe? Let's raise that up. I mean, really, we're just going to be using the corner. It's going to dictate where things are. I think the scale is a bit too massive. Wait, where did the... Oh, there we are. You're gonna watch me learn like camera angles and stuff in real time. Let's just do basic. Oh, this is a weird angle though. 45? Nah, no. Oh, I should have made the length first. There we go. We'll just do like a mock-up today, I think, and then call it. Just just like a general idea of where things will go. But I am liking the idea of having like an actual background. And I don't have the tools to make a like a proper drawing. I only got the mouse and the keyboard, so. Plus 3D art is what I seem to be better at anyway. Oh, let's make an interesting desk, actually. Have like a bit of a cut there. And then like that. It's neat, I like that. Big fan. Oops, I thought I did this. You know what if we get real goofy with that? And then with this as the sarcophagus, just kind of, because again, we're just doing a mock-up. We're not gonna go crazy today. Just get the basics going. Like a basic monitor. That's about right. You know what, let's make it a bit more lengthwise. I think that'll be better. Better being relative, but still. Something like that, maybe. Oh, I gotta do my moderation duty. Yeah. Get sent to the Shadow Realm. Then we will make like a basic keyboard. You know what? No, we won't do that today. We will make it a bit messy, though. Then next time we can get into detailing and then like proper texturing and all that stuff, which I still don't know how I'm gonna do. Because I don't really texture much, if at all. It's just not something I do. I enjoy the process of modeling a lot more. Because that's where I feel like the main ideas are, at least for me. Because when it comes to texturing, I usually just do like a very basic job, you know? where it's just like, oh, you know, this is supposed to be red, so I'll paint it red. What if it's like a mirror? What if I have like a mirror going on? Just like leaning. One of those like full body. Done with these. Maybe like little pictures. Let's do, let me zoom in here. There we go. There we go, that's starting to look a bit more visually interesting. I think that's going to be the biggest challenge, is like finding different pieces of, I guess, material to kind of make it look a bit more like, oh, you know, here's something neat that a viewer could look at and, you know, enjoy. But I don't know. I nearly started coughing after drinking water. I am a beautiful human being with no flaws. Nearly chokes and dies on water. Just gonna extrude here. Extrude it there. Give us a bit more room for the camera. How are we looking? What do you guys think? I think overall it's looking pretty good. We just gotta figure out, like, I don't know, stuff to add. Like, I like this angle. I like this stuff, like the feeling that we got going on. But there's gotta be a bit more happening, you know what I mean? Like, I can add a ton to the computer setup, but that's just because that's what I know. I have the problem of not being chronically in debt due to buying plushies. If I did have that problem, then I could add a bit more detail here. But I don't, so therefore I can't. Let's see. I guess we can make the, not altar, sarcophagus a bit more visually interesting. Like, we could do a little base here. Then if we need to do one more, and then just make sure I'm doing this right. Yeah. Jeez, if I can... Okay, there we go. And then we can go back. edit these a little more. I am sorry for the constant flashbangs. That is going to be a problem for the time lapse for sure. Not what I wanted. Just these. Alright. Bring that up now. Do we not expand these spaces? I guess not. You know what, that's fine. Like I said, I'm not gonna get too into it tonight, but I do want to get like a general setup going. I'm gonna start naming these actually. I'm not even gonna pretend to know how to spell sarcophagus. Casket, same thing. What is this? Oh, wall. Wall, and then wall, and floor. Beautiful. I think that's looking not bad. That is looking acceptable currently. If we lowered here, I mean, I guess I can try. You know what? How does this capture? We'll see. If it does, I'll stop. But if it doesn't, oh, I'm way behind on stream. Great. Well, hopefully this doesn't capture, but if it does, oh well, I don't care. Alright, let's move to talking. Oops, that name is already in use. Give me 1 sec and we can see how effective that is. If I can find where I put it. I think here. Oh boy, gotta look through all my files. There we go. Then we can just do transform, fit to screen. Put this at the bottom. There we go. Oh my god, that's so fun. Everything gets covered. Just all of it. All of the detail is just completely gone. Oh man. What if we... I wonder if you could flip through here. Transform. Yeah. Flip horizontal. Ooh, that looks wrong. That looks wrong. I don't like that. But that is interesting. Alright, I know it has been a very short stream. Much like with all my Blender projects, I didn't expect to get done so quickly. I will have to come up with more complicated things to do in Blender. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed watching. I am going to end the stream and get the VODs set up. If you have any ideas for the background or critiques on the ship, just let me know in the comments. Any suggestions are also welcome for like games or, reaction content I might start doing. Really anything. I would love to hear your opinion. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, night, afternoon, morning, wherever it is you are watching from. And yeah, goodbye.